KLRNRadio.com.
Hi, everyone. This is JJ, the co-founder of Good Pods. If you haven't heard of it yet, Good Pods is like Goodreads or Instagram, but for podcasts. It's new, it's social, it's different, and it's growing really fast. There are more than 2 million podcasts, and we know that it is impossible to figure out what to listen to. On Good Pods, you follow your friends and podcasters to see what they like. That is the #1 way to discover new shows and episodes. You can find Good Pods on the web or download the app. Happy listening.
Celebrity designer Jeff Lewis is back with Hollywood House Lift.
I'm excited to be working with new clients.
I'm not getting rid of that.
I hope I never see you both again.
Yeah. An all-new season.
Those have to go. That has to go.
From oh, wow.
It's been an actual nightmare.
To oh, wow.
This is such an upgrade.
With celebrities like Josh Duhamel, Christina Ricci, and Gina Rodriguez.
Dazzle me, Jeff.
Ricci, you say.
Cheese.
Stream an all-new season of Hollywood House Lift with Jeff Lewis. Now streaming on Freevee.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
I will never tire of listening.
The way I always do. How was I to know she was with the Russians too? I was gambling in Havana. I took a little risk. Send lawyers, guns, and money. Dad, get me out of this. Ha!
Uh-oh. Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody?
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Otherwise known as Chat Lives Matter Night here on KLRNRadio.com. We're normally your closing act for the evening, but we've moved things around a little bit. So this is Rick and Ordy. There will be an impromptu America Off the Rails after this one ends, and then that will be the end of the night. But I am joined by everyone's favorite Amish co-host, Mr. Ordinance J. Packard, sir. How are you?
Hi, guys.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm making ball soup here. It's fucking hot. But yeah. I'm 2 ounces lighter, so I got that going for me, which is nice.
I don't know what the mercury says where you are, but it was 102 here today, so I'm kind of right there with you.
Let's see what it's right now. Oh, it's that. You know what? Well, it's just about 100. So
yeah, my air conditioner.
And I'm in the valley, so the sun's already gone down past the mountains. So
yeah, it was my air conditioner at about 2:00 was like, yeah, we can't keep up anymore, bro. We'll give you a degree over what you've got me set on, but that's the best I can do.
Right.
Which I don't. So I understand why they did what they did because I have a house that's in the country, but like some of the vents, because it's central heat and air, are actually underneath the sink. So in the wintertime, when the heat is on, it keeps all the pipes and shit warm.
Sure.
But the problem is, one, that makes parts of the house really cold, and two, in the winter. And two, if you don't go open those cabinets up to let some of that cool air out in the summer, that's when your air conditioner starts going, yeah, fuck you, I quit. So I have decided, because I didn't do it this year, but next year I think I'm putting a small window unit in my office. So that way I can kind of take some of the heat off of the actual big air conditioner. Because I was actually all keen on, hey, let's upgrade the air conditioner. And then they're like, oh yeah, that's $14,000. I'm like, I think I will get a $150 window unit for my office and just open the doors when I'm not using it.
You know what you could do is, I've been looking into it because I was thinking of, because I've talked in the past how out in the desert we use evaporator coolers because they're efficient and inexpensive and they work fairly well, and as long as you don't have humidity. But I've also been thinking, because it's time to replace my furnace, and I was thinking of getting one of those furnace and AC combination units, but what I've been looking into is the splits. And if you haven't seen those, they're really quite reasonable. I mean, yeah, you have to have a professional install them. I mean, you can go buy them at Home Depot, but you have to have, a licensed AC person to install them. And they run between $600 and $1,200, and they're perfect for, like, you could put one in a good sized living room, like if you just needed to cool your living room, and it would do that. But if you were to put it in just like a bedroom or like your office or something, you could hang meat in that motherfucker. So I've been looking into that, and I might go that route next. I gotta replace some stuff on that side of the house anyway. So when I tear it off, I might have them install a split while I'm doing it.
I mean, hey, that might work.
Yeah. So
that Scream is not the worst. That Scream is awesome. Don't judge me.
Yeah. I like Lawyers of London. That works for that.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That everybody knows Werewolves of London by Warren Zevon, but when you find a Warren Zevon nerd, that's magic. When you find one, when you go talking Zevon in your timeline, that's good fun.
Yeah, it could be.
Of course, then it's when my feed isn't full of retarded, it's mostly music and snark. So,
hey,
how are you? What's going on with you?
The title actually showed up right this week. Yay!
Right.
Last time we did the pair in a hurry, it actually posted the wrong show title.
That's right. We were AOTR last week. That's
yep.
All right.
Well, we weren't everywhere else, but we were on your feed, which was interesting. But anyway, but yeah. So how am I? Let's see. Watched Bowman get the boot last night, which was awesome.
Yeah, that was fun.
I still think it's funny that dude didn't understand what AOC was trying to do, and she's like, "Hey, I'll help you stump if you come stump in my district." The fuck. That's just, I'm like, dude, did you not realize that they were starting to set you up? I mean, it was semi obvious there because she's like making a big deal and being all hype girl in her own district, and he's the one that's in trouble and everybody could see it. And then it was really funny because yesterday she was supposed to return the favor and go stump for him in his district, and she bailed out last minute. She's like, no.
Well, yeah, because the early numbers coming in, some of the exit polling, she's like, I am not tying that fucking albatross around my neck.
I don't know. I mean, of course, now that old dude has gotten past the Democratic primary, of course, now he's swinging really, really hard left. So, I mean, not quite as hard left as Jamal Bowman, but I wasn't really that surprised to hear him. Climate change is real, all that other shit. And I'm like, no, it's not. God damn it. Now they're trying to put out, now that I saw an article today that they're like, we've been inadvertently cooling the planet and that's about to stop.
Well, okay. If you actually read it, the author said both. So what I've come to figure out, the only thing that really makes sense about that article is, she doesn't understand the concept of North and South equator.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because we're having record heat waves up in Europe and America, and it's freezing down in Argentina. Yeah, let me explain to you. You know what? Never mind. I'm not going to explain it to you.
It's just like that seasons are different above and below the equator, right?
I don't think she does.
You know how that's actually supposed to work, right?
It's like trying to explain time zones to someone. I have neither the crowns nor the inclination.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I mean, the funny thing is everybody talks crap about time zones, but before we had time zones, they seem to forget that trains used to run into each other quite often because everybody tried to have their clocks set the same, and it didn't.
Well, that was daylight savings time.
Well, yeah,
time zones have been around, but yeah, no, I gotcha.
Anyway, I always thought time zones had something to do with the trains too, but maybe I'm wrong.
You maybe, I don't know. I'm on painkillers and beer. I'm fine.
So you're doing exactly what the doctor told you to do. Good job.
Yes, I'm resting and recovering.
Is that what they call that?
Yes.
Nice. All right. So it seems like it's been a minute. I know we just do this last week, but anyway.
I don't remember because I was on painkillers and beer.
Oh, that's right. That's why it was so much fun though, because you were like
Yeah,
out of your mind.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I mean, I was only like 48 hours fresh coming out of surgery, so yeah, no, but yeah, we don't talk anymore. We got to catch up. So, talking about the Jamal Bowman thing, did you see his little press conference today, where he kind of had a little meltdown, and he's an emotionally stunted child.
I mean, we knew that when he pulled the fire alarm, though.
Well, that's what I mean. He's like stunted at 13, and when it was evident that he was losing yesterday, that was all the jokes du jour around Twitter were, well, maybe he can pull a fire alarm and stop this vote.
Yeah, I actually was one of the people that said that. I was like, over under on him pulling the fire alarm, stop this.
But he was out, he's like in his rant, he's all, I want to thank my real supporters, the people in Dearborn and San Francisco. And it's like, your constituents are in New York, right? I mean, those are the people you should have been catering to. While your money may come from Dearborn and San Francisco, the people who actually pencil in, take their little marker and circle hit the circle next to your name, those are in the people in your neighborhood, sport.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? And this has become such a thing, and it's one of the things that drives me crazy about this whole idea that we have national elections, because you have a guy in New York talking about his supporters in Dearborn, Michigan. He shouldn't have supporters in Dearborn, Michigan.
He shouldn't care about the supporters in Dearborn, Michigan. I mean, aside from the money they send him. Well, yeah. Which, by the way, if his big gripe was the $20 million that AIPAC spent, how much money was he getting from Dearborn and San Francisco?
That's a good question.
Just saying. I mean, if everybody is all mad about AIPAC and funding his competitor, shouldn't you be wondering where his funds are coming from? Or is that different? That's parenthetical D different, even though they're both Democrats?
I just thought it was funny that he's like, we're going to show AIPAC. And AIPAC's like, hey, hold my beer.
Yeah, right. Ooh, we don't like foreign money in elections. Okay. How much money did you get from Soros? Because it's anti-Semitic to bring up Soros. But if you bring up AIPAC, that's all right.
Kind of weird, ain't it?
That's just so weird. It boggles the mind. I am vexed.
I'm still kind of irritated at the Supreme Court these last couple of weeks.
Hey, hang on really quick. Guys, how's the sound? Because I just realized my microphones are really close to my fan.
It sounds good on my end.
Okay, then it sounds good going out. Okay, SCOTUS, yeah.
Yeah, with in between the new board and the sound dampening features built in, I think it cancels out almost everything.
Cool. Yeah. Burn in hell, Skype. This is the modern world.
So that's the interesting thing, though, right? Because John Cass and I did our debut show the other day, and because he's not very tech savvy, I didn't really think about trying to make sure that everything was pointed right in Restream, because I didn't really think about it. So, like, after the first half hour, I was like, screw it, let's just hop on Skype and see if it sounds any better. And then it was coming through crystal clear, and I'm like, yeah, there's some settings wrong in Restream. He's like, I wouldn't even know where to look to fix those. I was like, we'll figure it out. And then the domain went down a few days later, and I've been dealing with that ever since. So I was like, and he's wanting to do the debate tomorrow night. So I was like, you know what? I will call you on Skype.
Well, that's one of the things, too, is that, we got to get him and Mickey dialed in on Restream, too, for when we do our panel that we didn't do this weekend.
Yeah, I had planned on doing that, and then I wound up having to
Thanks,
go
man.
help somebody, and then the next thing I knew, everybody was like, "Ordy says he's just now leaving." I was like, "He told me he's going to be able to be there in time." We don't think so, and I'm like, "Okay, fine, let's push." And then you're like,
Yeah.
don't ever doubt my driving ability."
Right. That was and for the record, I was right because I put in the DM. For the record, I would have made it before the intro stopped. So, anyway, so you were talking about SCOTUS.
Yeah. So the first thing is, and I get partially why they did what they did today when they said the person bringing this to us doesn't have standing. But my question with that is, shouldn't anybody have the standing to redress First Amendment violations with SCOTUS? I mean,
Well,
on the face of it,
just being an Amish lawyer, yes, because okay, how about that? Anybody who used any of those platforms, which, by the way, the shining light of the SCOTUS ruling today was that it is called Twitter. It's in the SCOTUS documents. It is written. Okay. It's not Twitter X. It's not X. It's Twitter. So, but yeah, I mean, it could be argued anybody who used any of those platforms had standing.
he's only saying that because it's scrolling on the bottom of the screen.
Oh, is it? I actually didn't notice that. It's something I saw earlier today. I'm like, yes, Comey Barrett came out right, even though she was wrong.
Yeah,
But the thing is it's the way that the decision came down. 6-3. So suck it, everybody who wants to say, yeah, the Supreme Court is stacked, and we need to, put more judges in there to balance it out because it's a theocracy or whatever the fuck it is that they say. So the 6-3 ruling came down on your side, guys. All right. And of course, the two squishes I was never a fan of, Kavanaugh and Barrett, and Roberts was Roberts. But yeah, so it's the way that the ruling was made was say, look, these people don't have standing, but we fully expect to hear this case again. So it was kind of like, this isn't shot down. This isn't, law of the land. It's like, no, we're not going to hear this one because it could be argued they don't have standing. So.
Yeah, and I get that, but what I found was absolutely interesting was within hours of this decision being released, Wiffle Ball Bat Linda went on a banning spree before it was ever even released, and I'm like, you can't tell me they don't have a leak somewhere. You can't convince me of that anymore.
I don't know if they were related because the accounts that were suspended, and for those of you who are, since everybody's listening on X, basically, exactly what happened. A lot of the fuck, I did. Good night, folks. I'm out. No, it's most of the people who were banned on Twitter were they were pretty mild in their content. It's not like me, you know, it was there, I mean, yeah, okay, not your Jewish mom. It can be abrasive and a couple others, but they're not in the Twitter dome. It's not constantly looking for argument. These were, they're pretty low key. They're chill accounts, and it's like someone was like, wow, what did they get suspended for? What could they, and having known their account for as long as I have, what could they possibly have said that had drawn the ire of trust and safety? And so I think more likely they got caught up in a bot sweep.
Possibly.
I'm leaning more towards that because, like I said, if these were all accounts like you and me and everything, I totally would buy into no, this is, because this ruling's coming down this way, we're gonna prune the tree. But these were pretty tame accounts, so that, and combined with the account that was mass reporting anyone who deviated slightly from traditional trans ideology, who was counting coups all over their timeline. And they're gone now, so hooray. But yeah, I don't see those things related. As as much as I like to look for conspiracy, I mean, we do a show about it. Conspiratainment. I don't see it in this case.
In the words of Garrick, I see coincidences every day. I believe in coincidences. And I don't remember the rest of the quote now, damn it. Too tired.
I don't trust coincidences.
There we go. I knew it was something like that. But anyway.
I'm more of the don't apply malice to what could easily be explained with stupidity.
This is true too.
So anyway, but yeah, that ruling was disappointing. I have to be fair and say I kind of understand it, and I definitely understand where you're coming from on the fact that anybody who uses any of those platforms technically has standing, because they're being manipulated by the government, whether they doesn't matter what side of the issue they're on. I mean, yes, this was brought as a silencing dissent case, but yeah, it's still, I mean, for the public good, it should have come down the other way, but I get why it didn't.
I guess so. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway. So just for fun, I'm hanging out on your feed for a little bit.
Okay. Hey, how's my feed doing? Because yours is the same. Well, we got Andrew. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, so that's I definitely I see how it is confusing with the multiple feeds.
Yeah,
I like how you put up in the chat so anybody could see where anything's going on.
Well, yeah, that's kind of once the chat goes active, I normally do that because then no matter where they're posting from, they should be able to see it and at least participate.
Rumble?
Yeah, it works on Rumble too.
Nice.
Yeah, it actually integrates everywhere. The only and I don't know if it'll work for you or not, but I have the ability to chat back from inside the channel, but Restream doesn't sync with X, so it won't post it there, which is why I have to go out and get into the rest of it to make that work.
I can't.
But
yeah, I can't post from inside the.
But yeah, I have a host chat channel that'll post under Restream, or I can even go into just each individual one. But the only one that it doesn't sync with Twitter yet, so
that's weird.
Which is kind of a pain, but I mean, all I know is I haven't found another platform that lets you do. I mean, honestly, if we ever get to the point where we can pay for the biggest account they have, we can actually stream to up to 30 places at once. I haven't seen anything quite that big. Plus the ability for anybody who was on the show with us to jack into at least 3. That's crazy.
Yeah, why would we need that?
Why not though? The more eyeballs, the better.
That's true. I got to figure. Once I go back to work, I'm going to have to figure out if the putting the broadcasts on my feed helps with my monetization, because I'm not sure if it does or not.
I mean, it should, because it's still tracking his views. I just don't know how much traffic you're actually getting from it. But
right. So,
I mean,
I'm curious.
I know my following conversions have gone way up since I've started doing that. So, but then again, all the damn metrics have been crazy since they took likes private. I still think they broke something when they did that.
They possibly could have, but the thing is, that's just from an outside viewing. You can still go. I mean, I can still go to any tweet that I've made and see who liked it.
Oh yeah, you can. But I'm saying, I think when they made it to where you're the only one that can see it, I think they broke something with the algorithm. Because I mean, even today, the Pulte guy that's always giving away money, there was but I mean, he gets a lot of engagement though. So there was a tweet that he put out about giving out $1,000. It'd been up for about 15-20 minutes. Already had 620 likes and 37 reposts. And it had only been seen 700 times as far as views.
Yeah, that's probably off. Yeah, because the metrics still have to be on the Twitter side, because not only does it display, like you can see it, but also it's in your analytics. So I think that they just took out the external, where people outside of, I don't know. Anyway.
Well, it's either that or they're up to their pre-election shenanigans already. Because
so we'll go with the former then, because
even my numbers are sucking, and I was actually just starting to build some momentum. It's like, damn it.
Yeah, it's funny is with Lou, she actually gained back more followers than she lost this morning. So it was kind of like, okay, you could, it's like they had all these followers in a bucket and just got tired of handing them out, so just started.
Well, the other thing is, and a lot of people have been complaining about this. They've been noticing that X Twitter, Jitter, whatever the hell you want to call it, is back to doing the "we're going to randomly unfollow people for you" thing.
But that never stopped with me, though.
Well, everybody was saying it was a little bit better than it was before. Now, apparently, it's been ramped back up again, because I've seen more and more people posting about it. They're like, if you see that I'm refollowing you, I didn't unfollow you in the first place. They did it for me.
Twitter's super helpful like that.
But so that was one of the things that pissed me off today, though, because they've got all these accounts that were suspended for whatever reason. They've got, I know people that are monetized whose monetization has been paused, and they've been trying to figure out why for weeks and weeks and weeks, and they're not getting any answers. And the first thing I see from Elon Musk today is him posting a picture of a hawk so he can get into the whole Octua thing.
That's what my response to that is, did you suspend them too?
I was like, dude, your house is on fire. Fix your shit. I was like, don't you? So my other thing is, aren't you the guy that said engagement farming isn't supposed to be a thing, and you're posting a picture of a hawk just so people can throw the Tua thing underneath it? Come on, bro. Anyway.
Well, he is autistic.
This is true. Which is why he's so fascinated with the letter X.
It really is. Watching the way he does things is just like chasing around with a butterfly net. Speaking of doing the little. Did you hear about this? Did you see this? SpaceX got the contract to deorbit the ISS. I wonder we were at the age of that where it would be deorbited, but I guess we are.
Well, first of all, I wonder why. But second of all, why are we deorbiting it already?
Well, you're thinking about it, and this didn't occur to me until those words just came out of my mouth. One of my good friends in 7th and 8th grade was one of the designers for the habitation module on that. So think about that for a second. 40 years ago. I had to do the math real quick.
Has it really been that long?
And that's when it was being designed. So say that it got mostly put up there while it was still the shuttle program. So, I was on my first wife when they ended the shuttle program.
I guess that has been a minute. But what are they going to replace it with is my question.
No, it's like when they decommissioned the SR-71 and said, we don't have anything else in the sky to replace it. Yeah, you do.
I still want to find out when we actually, find out the real reason we have a U.S. Space Force now.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Because there has to be a reason we have a U.S. Space Force now, and it's not because of Chinese cyber attacks via satellite. Come on, guys.
Redacted. There's actually a joke on my feed about that while I appreciate that SpaceX got the contract, we could have saved a lot more money if we just told Boeing that there was a couple whistleblowers on it.
That would have been bad. That would have been bad.
Well, there are, because there's 2 stranded there now.
Never to be seen again. Oh.
Hey, you want to take a break real quick? I'm having a coughing fit.
Sure, we can do that.
Okay, great. I got to go get something for that.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back once he gets his coughing situation under control. You guys are listening to the Rick and Ordy Show live right here on KLRNRadio.com. We usually do this thing every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. We're doing it a little bit early tonight. When we wrap this one, there will be a bonus America Off the Rails because we got things to talk about, and I haven't been able to do my afternoon show this week because I've been doing behind-the-scenes stuff. So we're going to take a really quick break, and we'll be right back in just a few, so stay tuned. All right, so for those of you on the stream side and on 365 side, you're going to get some behind the scenes, but we'll be back in a minute.
I'll be right back.
Okay, cool.
All right.
And welcome back.
All right.
Let's see where we are. Oh, and now I'm getting the automated response from WinHost. It's like, you didn't reply to our last request for information. And I'm about to send them the entire stream of everything I sent them and be like, this is what I replied with. Why didn't you answer me? I hate these people. Just unlock my domain so I can move it anyway.
So
anyway, so coming back in about a minute and
okay.
5.
Yeah, coughing and you remember how many stomach muscles that actually uses when you have your appendix removed? Because ow. Or gallbladder too. I've been running into a lot of people who had their gallbladder removed lately. And apparently it's not fun either. Clickety, clickety, clickety. Clicky keyboards are the best keyboards.
Now the question is, why am I getting emails from like 12 hours ago that I didn't see until just now?
Because a drunk tractor took out your internet again? I don't know.
No drunk tractors this time. Oh crap, we're into dead air. My bad.
Let's go! Hey! Oh! Let's go! Hey! Oh! Let's go! Hey! Oh! Let's go!
I mean, the good news is we weren't really dead air anywhere anybody's listening right now. They just heard us talking about other shit. Anyway, so we're back. We're live. And for those of you listening on Spreaker, if you happen to be listening there, apologies for that minute or so of dead air because I was busily trying to reply to an email.
Do thanks.
We were out of time. Anyway, so we're back. We're live. And we got a little bit of time left in this one. And then I'll be hanging out with you guys for about an hour after this because I feel like I need to do some makeup work because it's Wednesday and I haven't done any daytime shows yet because everything's been crazy. Oh, did I tell you that I have a felled tree next to my garage that I now have to get chopped up because I guess we had some windstorms come through yesterday. So yeah, I have part of a tree hanging off my garage now. My son's my son's coming over with a chainsaw tomorrow to help me fix that. So yay, because I had a chainsaw. Till my other son, who is really adept at destroying combustion engines, decided he wanted to try to use it. And I don't have a chainsaw anymore. So, how's your world, Amish? How are things with you, besides being 2 ounces lighter? And
Yeah. So, one of the things that came out today, and you can take this one of two ways. You can take this as good news because it's America's premier pollster has built the model. Nate Silver has built his model for the general election and has given Trump a 65.7% chance of winning the Electoral College. And this, of course, has all of your popular vote people up in arms. And the mixed bag with this message is that generally Nate Silver is wrong so fucking always.
Yeah, he didn't used to be. And then I don't know what happened.
The last 2 elections, he hasn't really done well. So I think in this, actually, the last one he did, I mean, he predicted Biden's win, but he was way, way off. And you can say what you will about that election too. But yeah, so he really hasn't done well since Obama's first term. He could spectacularly crash and burned on the 2016 election.
Well, I mean, to be fair, everybody crashed and burned on that one.
Well, that one too. So, like I said, you can take that for what it's worth. I mean, has he learned his lessons and where he went wrong the last 3 elections? Or do we just take this with a grain of salt?
Grain of salt. That's always pretty much my answer. Grain of salt.
All right. Okay. But yeah, I just found that interesting that, I mean, his thumb is generally heavily on the scale in favor of Democrats. It's like they've always, run a brilliant blah, 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 blah. And
a brilliant personality. Oh, wait.
Yeah. So, but I'm curious what they mean by they've already got Gavin Newsom tapped as a surrogate if Biden fails spectacularly tomorrow, which we all anticipate he probably will.
See, I don't know because they've had time to get whatever cocktail they give him dialed in better between now and the first time they tried to use it, because they had it almost right for State of the Union, but he was still really yelly. So if they can get him alert, but then give him just enough of something to take the edge off, so he's not angry man yelling at clouds, he may do better than everybody thinks. And the thing about it is, the media set the bar so low that as long as dude doesn't fall asleep or doesn't shit his pants, they're going to say he's so presidential.
No guarantee of either of those.
Yeah, Stacey.
Well, you know what they need? What they need to take the edge off is a drop of peppermint.
Something. I don't know. I just.
For those of you who don't get it, that was the Captain America serum that they also referenced in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. with Kyle MacLachlan's character, Daisy's dad, the drop of peppermint. Anyway, so here's this cocktail of like bull testosterone and blah, 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 and a drop of peppermint.
When you have to explain the joke.
You know, I'm doing it anyway. Fuck it.
Fuck it. We'll do it live.
Fuck
but
it,
no, I mean, I don't really have any bold predictions for tomorrow, because the one thing I was going to say until they kind of unfettered Trump a little bit by releasing some of the gag order is I think they were unwittingly helping him. And I think they figured out that they were unwittingly helping him, because he was having to stay on message a lot instead of ranting about all the things that piss him off. So he was out talking about policies and the things that he wanted to make better, and how, things were better when I was in office than what you've got right now, instead of, oh, they stole the election from me in 2020 and they're trying to throw me in jail. So they took a lot of that away. So I don't know how tomorrow's going to go, because the one thing I will say is, after him talking to people and everything else, there are a lot of people that have had his ear that have pointed out, more under control Trump does much better in debates than bull in China shop Trump. So he seems to have hopefully gotten that memo. I don't know, because I already know that they're going to do everything they can to goad him into getting pissed off, because
sure.
They're going to bring up 2020. They're going to bring up J6 over and over and over again. And it's just, and the thing about it is, with this setup the way that it is, and I'm not saying Trump shouldn't have agreed to it, because I mean there need to be debates. That's just the truth of it. But
sure.
with the setup the way this is, then as soon as he builds any momentum for anything, they're just going to mute his mic.
Well, okay, so there's and the great question today too is, does that mean the moderators will have their mic muted when people are responding? But no. Glenn Beck has some fantastic advice for Trump today. And unfortunately, it's Trump, so it won't happen. But, to your point, what you were just saying too, his advice was, don't even respond to Biden. Don't even acknowledge him. Just answer the question, but talk to the American people. Don't talk to the moderators. Don't acknowledge Biden at all, because Biden's going to do his little bullshit. Come on, man. Fucking malarkey, dog-faced pony soldier shit. Providing he's not just moving one aside so it'll run down his pant leg. Yeah, I mean, that was fantastic advice. Unfortunately, it's Trump and he won't take it.
Yeah, unfortunately, most of the people that he really should be listening to do not have his ear.
No, he listens to, I don't know how much effect Laura Loomer has on him, but yeah.
God, hopefully not, but who knows?
So we're getting to that part of the show. What are you watching?
I was about to ask you the same question. I was like, hey, we're pretty much there. So what do you watch? What am I watching? Lately, I've kind of been switching back and forth between Star Trek: The Next Generation and Stargate again.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will probably rewatch Deep Space Nine next, because it's about that time again.
Right.
Plus,
for some reason, there's been a whole lot of Deep Space Nine references lately.
Well, that's because it's I think it's because the Star Wars franchise has been absolutely destroyed. Everybody's falling back on Star Trek, and now they're like, Deep Space Nine wasn't as bad as we thought it was when we first tried to watch it. I'm in 2 or 3 different Star Trek groups, and I keep seeing the same thing. First time I tried to watch this show, it was boring, and now I'm watching it, and I'm like, and they're like, the character arcs are so deep, and everything's so well developed, and it just took a while to get there. And I'm like, yeah, that's what good TV does.
Yeah, we've been telling you that for years.
But I don't know. I do know that I actually plan on starting to get back into some of the Star Trek books that I haven't read, because there are some decent ones that I've heard about that kind of continue the arc after Cisco goes off to be with the prophets, and I've kind of been curious about reading some of those, so I think I'm going to start getting back into those.
Cool.
But before I do
Reading
that,
is always good for you.
Reading is fundamental, man.
Riff.
But yeah, other than that, I haven't really been watching too much. I just finished the 10-episode arc of the new Doctor Who. I will say, if you can make it past the first few episodes, it actually does start to resemble Doctor Who again. But you'll have to get past the first few episodes before you do it. And yes, I'm getting that from a lot of people. I'm a diehard fan, so I toughed it out. And about the last
I was too, but I stopped watching after Capaldi.
Yeah, well, I did for a while. Then I went ahead and toughed out through Whittaker, and then I realized Whittaker wasn't really the problem; it was the writers for the most part. I don't know. I don't know what the problem is this time, other than they've just decided to say "fuck Doctor Who," we're going to destroy it. But that's becoming a feature, not a bug, because it's like they're trying to destroy everything that brings us together, and they want us to be okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, even Kirkman's doing it with Trek, so.
But anyway, so what have you been watching?
Well, I'm wrapping up the. I just got into season 5 of my rewatch of Warehouse 13. Something I noticed the other day. I forgot to mention it, and I mentioned on Twitter the other night, but it was pretty late. Lindsay Wagner's character, her Farnsworth, makes the Bionic Woman sound.
I noticed that.
I thought that was a cool little Easter egg. If I noticed it in the past, I forgot it, and then I just re-noticed. I said, okay, that's a cool little Easter egg. I like that. But I also rewatched the Dune movies this last week, and I'm not as mad about Dune 2 as I was before. Before I watched it during the height of all the, oh my God, woke bullshit, feminine, girl power, rah, rah, rah. And yeah, I saw that and I picked up on it. But now that I have been removed from it and I gave it another watch, I didn't hate as much of it as I did before, because it's like, okay, I know why they're doing this, but I'm just going to enjoy this for being Frank Herbert's Dune. And I wish I could still get the miniseries on a streaming service somewhere. I'll have to look at the more rare ones. But one thing I did notice in this, and I didn't pick up on it before, but now it bugged the absolute shit out of me. Zendaya, if that's her name. Her perpetual resting bitch face makes Brie Larson look downright pleasant. I just could not get past it. I hate her. I have no investment in her character whatsoever. And Timothée Chalamet as Paul, he's just as annoying as he was in the book. So good, they found, but I just absolutely despise her character with every fiber of my being. Well, despise her as playing the character. Sean Young did it well. I mean, she was only in it for like 8 seconds, but still. Yeah. Should have gotten Brie Larson or something. Oh, that's racist. No, it isn't. She's just got her resting bitch face is annoying.
I don't know. Resting bitch face always reminds me of my ex-wife. Oh, wait. Damn it.
We had a great little mini thread yesterday. Fu was talking about some horror movies to watch on the plane, and I had brought up she was looking for recommendations, and I had brought up Cabin in the Woods, Devil, and As Above, So Below. And this started a conversation. I didn't realize, I've always kind of like held As Above, So Below to my chest, because it's like, it was found footage, and it was, another offering shoehorned in when the found footage horror genre was just blowing up. And it was an underrated gem. It flew under the radar, but it's not one of those that I'll like pop out and, mention, because you're getting, just another fucking found footage thing. I had no idea how many absolute fans there are of that movie. And it's a really good one. But anyway, so part of that thread, a few people in it made some recommendations for some other found footage films. And so I've got all that to look forward to this week. I mean, yeah, it's not Halloween, but on these pain pills, I'm up until 3 a.m. anyway, so I might as well watch some movies, right?
I mean, I ain't telling you not to. So,
yeah. See, and I put it on par. And what really speaks to me about As Above, So Below, and also with Apollo 18, is that they weren't afraid to go outside of the jump scare in the found footage thing. It's very cerebral. It's very, it's very interesting take. And one of the things with As Above, So Below, if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to, spoil it, but the main protagonist in it, she's the everything girl. She speaks 4 languages. 2 of them are dead languages. She does Kempo and all these other, so it's kind of like, it's like, oh, she's the bestest ever and don't need no man. And that's annoying until you realize towards the end, it's like, why? That was for it. And so, yeah, but really, if you haven't seen As Above, So Below, it's not your common, dead teen slasher. It's not your, jump scare, found footage type horror. It's good. It's absolutely good. It's creepy as fuck. Watch it with the lights low, not off. And stay through the end credits because there's a moment in it that puts an exclamation point on the whole movie. So there you go.
Dun, dun, dun. All right, man. Where can folks find you?
Oh, shit. Let's see. You can find me on Twitter as Ordnance Packard. Can you believe it's been 3 years since my last
suspension?
Anyway, yeah, so I didn't want to jinx it. You can find me tomorrow night when we do our panel show on Poli-Sci Theater 11 million. Okay. You can find me not doing chucks this weekend on Rancor Steve's Manorama channel Tuesday night on Rumble. Next Wednesday, I'll be Foo's out of town on vacation, so I will be hosting Foo Bar with the lovely and talented Jen Holmstead as my guest, and then your usual run for the week. And how about you? Where can people find you? What's going on with Rick?
Well, I'm going to... So you can find me here in just a minute doing America Off the Rails as a bonus edition because we had an extra hour of content tonight, so I'm going to fill that up. Should be back tomorrow doing the Rick Robinson show. I think I have beat the horse as far as I can about the domain until I can figure out what they're going to do, because now I'm starting to get automated replies that say, you didn't respond. I'm like, yes, I did. So before I start throwing things at people, I'm just going to step away for a day or so and then come back and tackle it again. And then so Thursday, Friday, Rick Robinson 3 to 5, Saturday off, Sunday, America Off the Rails, Monday things start over, and then Friday night again to Aggie Rican, and then I'll be on tomorrow night with everybody doing the panel as we do the Will Biden shit his pants watch party, because that's kind of the only reason I'm tuning in. Not even gonna lie. But yeah, other than that, you can find me at RowdyRick73. You can find me as an occasional contributor on Misfits Politics. I also am the executive producer of the Loftus Party podcast and an occasional contributor to loftusparty.com and a contributor to twitchy.com. And I think that's pretty much it. Any final thoughts, last words?
No, I'm doing fine.
Well, yeah, of course you're doing fine. You're on beer and painkillers. I'm jealous.
And muscle relaxers.
All right, hang out for a bit. Gonna get things reset. America Off the Rails coming at you on the other side as your closing act for the evening. We are KLRNRadio. This is Chat Lives Matter Night, and R.I.P. Ron. Just saying.
Yeah, miss you, Ron.
If you know, you know. If not, you probably should.
Hell had her.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
All right, man.
Yep. All right. So we're done.